Just when you thought it was safe, here comes part 2 of the Failing Writers End of Season Special.
So we ended part 1, episode 1 of our End of Season Spectacular with a bit of a tease about some success that we've had, some partial minor success.
It was a bit like the end of The Empire Strikes Back, wasn't it? It was we left it as a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's probably not the reason people came back, to be fair. But
no, that's true.
It's exciting for us.
It was very exciting for us, actually.
So you know that microfiction challenge that we entered recently, and we told you all about in episode 33.
Yep.
Well, guess what happened, dear listener? Someone got through to the next round.
What? Who?
Was it Tommy, who wrote a fairy tale about a dying man? Was it Bairdy, who wrote a drama about a woman who slaughtered her husband? Or was it John, who wrote about wet-footed subterranean freaks?
I don't know. The suspense
Can you guess?
is actually killing me now. Who was it?
And now Tom's going to tell you.
And the winner was... not winner. People who got through to the next round were... all of us. All the bloody lot of us.
All of us.
Madness, isn't
Even
it?
John with that shite that he wrote.
And the wet, flappy feet.
Unbelievable.
Right here, can you edit in the bit where you say from that episode? I'll tell you what, if John makes it through to the next round.
I think you'll find, guys, actually, I won because
You placed highest, didn't you? Yeah.
8th.
Didn't you?
I believe Tommy was 9th, and I believe Bairdy just got in 10th place.
Just in is in.
Yeah.
I always say, my motto, in is in.
So yeah, get that. I mean, there was clearly a mistake with mine. They clearly got confused about mine and thought I was a different person.
Without giving too much away for a future episode we'll do in Series 2, I got horror in the next round as my genre. It's very hard. It's very, very hard. Yeah. So I wonder whether in a horror one, the standard's going to be slightly lower because it is actually really hard to write.
Well, I think me getting through with the crap that I wrote was testimony to the fact that horror is really hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
if mine was really was the 8th best in a group of, what is it? The groups are like 50 aren't they?
50 odd, yeah.
But that suggests there were quite a lot of bad entries.
Does make you wonder, doesn't it, what the worst entries, what the number 50 was like?
Just 40 other ones.
There was a scary man, and he was scary.
He had dry feet.
And he had a wet
Well,
face.
I'll tell you what's weird, though, isn't it? Is that to come like for the second round, which we've already done at this point, me and John both ended up in the same group. What are the chances of that? Yeah.
It's just brilliant content for the podcast.
Isn't it, though? That is pod fodder all the way.
Proper one-on-one fight to see
Once
who's
and
the
for
best
all.
writer between the two.
Let's sort this out.
Yeah. It all comes down to this.
You know what we've accidentally done there, even though we weren't going to? We've answered a question that we keep forgetting to ask that we should ask every episode.
Oh, yeah.
What have you been writing?
Yeah.
And that's the answer for this one,
Stick
isn't it?
that question in. We'll edit the question in before we start going on.
Hey, do you know what I was thinking we could do as well? I was thinking what we could do is we could post our submissions for the next round up on the blog and get our lovely listeners to critique us. What do you think of that?
I think that's
a bit
awful idea. Let's do it.
Let's post them up.
Yeah, let's.
So if you want to read our entries, our 250-word entries for the next round, and obviously these have to be even better, don't they? Because they're the next round.
Yeah.
So these are clearly going to be a higher standard than the first ones. We're going to post them up on the blog. And, if you want to write us a little email and tell us what you think, that'd be great.
Well, I don't know if it'd be great, but it would be something, wouldn't it?
It'll be interesting. That's what it'll be. It'll be interesting.
It would be something to do.
Something for us to talk about.
But we don't need something to talk about right now. We just need to hand over to other people to talk about something, don't we? Because we're going to continue with the second part of our special where we return to guests that we've interviewed throughout the series. So,
our teeny tiny interviews.
First on the list is Adrian Poynton, that we spoke to last time about his adventures in California and writing for TV comedy and stuff. So let's have a bloody chat with Adrian, shall we?
welcome Adrian Poynton to our little end-of-year catch-up chat.
Hello again.
How have things been?
Yeah, been all right, actually. Pretty good year, I guess, as it goes, considering what it could have been like. Yeah, it's things are all right.
Better than they could have been. What a glowing review.
I mean, isn't that always true?
Yeah.
It's always true.
Yes.
What are you writing at the moment, Adrian? Are you allowed to tell us?
Sort of, yeah. I've just been commissioned on a script for the BBC on a new kind of, I'm going to call it a comedy drama, although I hate the term because I think that drama should be funny and comedy should be dramatic. So yeah, all right, why do we have to pigeonhole that? But yeah, a kind of hour-long comedy drama for the Beeb. I've been commissioned on a pilot script for that, so that's pretty good.
Cool.
Great. So is that the concept coming to you and then you write it, or is that something
that was me going to them with an idea. Yeah. I came with an idea that I sort of had in my head for ages and sort of hadn't. So it seems such a silly idea that I can't really say what it is, but I hadn't sort of got the balls to tell anybody what it was. It seemed like one of these ones in meetings I'd be like going, maybe I could pitch that, and wouldn't. And then at the end of a meeting when with the production company I work with, I'd been kind of banging my head against the wall and they'd been going, oh yeah, that's a nice idea. And I was going, oh great, a nice idea. Yeah, you hate that. We're not doing that one. Okay, excellent. What about this one? I mean, that seems lovely. It's not really what we do. Okay, you hated that as well. And it got to a point just at the end, I don't know what happened. I just went, look, okay, I've got this tiny idea. It was like 3 minutes before the end of the meeting, and I saw their faces change in a way that I was like, oh no, you love this, okay, why have I not had and it just became embarrassing that I'd never pitched it to anyone before.
This has been sitting around for years.
Oh my god, I could have done this years ago. so that'll just have the confidence in your own ideas, I think, is one of the main things I've learned this year. So that's all happening. So that went with the production company I work with. We kind of worked up a kind of pitch document, sent that to the BBC. They took forever coming back, as is always the case. And then, I've just been commissioned to go off and write the first script. So if you don't see that on TV in the next 2 years, it's because I wrote a rubbish script. That's good.
Yeah,
we'll look out for it.
Encouraging place to be, though, isn't it?
Hey, it's better than nothing. You get paid to write a script. Half the time when you do stuff, you just think, well, that's the last I'll ever see of that. So I'll take it. I'll take it. That's great.
We take that.
Yeah. So that's been good. Had an audio drama out at the beginning of November as well this year, which was quite nice. A thing I wrote for Big Finish, who do a lot of Doctor Who kind of spin-off audio. Yeah, love a bit of them. Love a bit of Doctor Who. So
is that what that was? That was a Doctor Who as well.
The audio drama was. Yeah. It was a spin-off for my friend Georgia played a character called Jenny, who's supposedly like the Doctor's daughter, this clone thingy, I don't know, and she said, hey, do you want to write one of these? They want to do a spin-off for me. And I was like, yeah, great. So I wrote that, and 8-year-old me was very excited to have that in the world. A couple of other projects just bubbling along nicely. I've suddenly found my momentum again. I think there was a bit at the beginning of kind of coronavirus and lockdown kicking in where I got very driven, and then it just sagged, and it just felt like nobody knew how to make TV or do anything. And then I sort of worked out how to be in the world again, and just sort of ploughed on and gone, yeah, let's do writing.
I think everyone kind of went through a bit of that, didn't they? I think for the general populace that aren't writers necessarily, it was probably the Zoom quiz thing, where at the start of it, everyone's like doing full-on Zoom quizzes. That, could have been broadcast on TV, some of the quality of the stuff, and then it just kind of everyone went, nah, this isn't real, and just kind of went inside.
I got stuck in one. I got stuck in a Zoom quiz with my family that I was thinking, when is this ever going to end? It was getting to a point where I was thinking, I hope we have a really harsh winter and we can pick some of the older ones off just to get numbers down here, because I can't. There's no other way.
When a Zoom quiz,
those rounds can go on.
It starts to feel like the prison that General Zod was floating around in Superman. Yeah. Just trapped inside this virtual.
Yeah, it was.
Zoom
Do you know, it ran for like a year and a half, and then I think summer saved us because people started having barbecues instead of quizzes. Like, yes, we don't have to do this anymore.
What about Christmas though, Adrian? How's your Christmas? Are you a big Christmas person?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm an only child, so I'm used to sort of Christmas.
I'm used to everything to myself.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, and yeah. I'll sit down, I'll eat chocolate, I'll watch the TV I want to watch, and I'll just have all the presents. Thanks very much. But now, as a married human being with a family, we ping pong around a lot. I'm lucky that my in-laws are only sort of 40 minutes drive from my dad, so we're able to do Christmas Eve, because I'm an only child as well. There's no brother or sister we have to wait for to be there on the same day, so we kind of do Christmas Eve at one as Christmas Day, and then go to the other and do it all again. So yeah, that's going to be Christmas for me. I kind of like Christmas. It's kind of cozy and nice. I quite like the getting together and seeing lots of family and all that. And I'm quite enjoying the fact people are putting their Christmas decorations up early this year, and there's a few lights around the street, and it's kind of a cozy time. I like putting on a big coat and being a bit cold, and that's nice. I like all that element of it.
It is.
Yeah, that's all.
You just
nice,
imagine Adrian, can't you, walking through the streets of London there with a packet of roasted chestnuts in his hand,
big sheepskin
ruffling the
coat.
hair of a young ruffian, humming the Christmas carols to himself.
Eating one of the chestnuts, realising he has a nut allergy, running to A&E, hoping to get there in time not to ruin a doctor on his own family's Christmas, ideally.
Take this coin and get me an EpiPen, the largest you can find.
but it's Christmas, not this again, Adrian. No, we talked about this last year.
Well, hopefully that won't happen. I mean, as amusing as that sounds on paper, in real life, that's probably less fun.
What about New Year's resolutions, Adrian? Any big plans for the new year that's
not a big sort of guy to make things like that. Although I think my big plan is just to kind of keep writing as much as I can and to kind of have confidence to just pitch my ideas and to only write the stuff I'm really passionate about, because that's the stuff in the last 2 years has been really getting momentum and paying off. And just to really work hard. I think I took my foot off the pedal a little bit last year, and I really enjoy it. I miss it when I don't do it. So I'm making myself a promise to write hard.
Whoa.
That sounds so
I
ridiculous.
hope that wasn't our influence having you on the podcast.
Yeah.
Did you find it dropped off as soon as you've been on the podcast?
Yeah, I talked to you guys and I went, all right, I'm not being any of these clowns.
It's the other one. Oh, we've been a positive
Right,
influence.
that could be your future age. You've got to write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
if I'm on this show again next year, it's all gone horribly wrong.
I know. If I can just like have a regular date once a year or once every 6 months to just remind me,
just as like a pep talk.
You can be my ghosts of Christmas, past, present, and future. Basically, it's my wonderful life. I'll pop on the podcast. No, that's so insulting and rude. You're lovely. You're lovely people.
Well, we provide a service. That's the way we see it.
Sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we should.
Let's turn it
Sweet.
off.
Great.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, let's. Right. So you try and kill me with metaphorical nuts. I say bad things, and then we leave. Great.
Perfect. Merry Christmas.
That's what Christmas is for me, actually, right there. That's great.
Well, thank you very much for joining us and having this little recap.
Yeah. Cheers, Ed.
Always a pleasure.
Cheers, mate. Have a lovely new year.
Yeah, all the best and a happy new year.
And to you guys. Take care.
So there we go. That was Adrian, and just had a little baby, haven't they? They were saying before the interview.
Got a little baby.
Well.
Isn't that nice? Yeah.
That's nice, isn't it? That's a nice Christmas present.
Baby.
Oh.
It's so true that about babies, isn't it? If you got one that just sleeps, you are embarrassed to tell everyone.
Yeah.
And yet you want to tell every parent as well.
Oh, right, does it?
You also don't want to put the curse on it, do you? Because as soon as you say the words, they sleep.
True, yeah.
They never will again.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's a segue from.
Go on, Dave.
I've lost it already.
Yeah.
From actual babies to dog babies. Our next guest has got a pair of dogs. We had a lovely chat with Father Christmas himself, Caimh. We've got you, Caimh.
Hello, mate.
It's good to see you and your magnificent
Thank
beard.
you. It's very Christmassy.
It really is.
It really is, yeah.
It's like 6 weeks ago when I was walking the dog and a bloke just walked by me, an old fella out of nowhere. I went, bet you're never short of work in December.
So how have you been, Caimh, since last we spoke? You were just launching a book, weren't you, when last we spoke, I think?
Yeah.
Was it the Stranger Times launch time around that time?
Yeah, it was around about then,
That was out, yeah.
Yeah. It's great. It's great launching a book in the bookshops when there are no bookshops. So that was good.
Yeah.
It went well. It was kind of frustrating where I got lovely reviews in the national press and stuff, but there was no bloody bookshops open.
Yeah.
So everyone just, so it did okay, but, I'm not going to be giving up my job presenting Pointless anytime soon. I imagine there must be a vacancy coming up there soon. How much money can that man need?
Exactly.
But the amount of people, everybody's read that book. It's kind of phenomenal. In this day and age, it's genuinely impressive that something has managed to break through that much. But yeah, everything's grand, working away, typey, same as yourselves, I'm sure. Just, cranking through stuff. I've got 2 books. I think a book coming out in February, which is This Charming Man, which is the next book in the Strange Time series. Please, God, let bookshops be open. And then in March, I've got the next book, the Buddy McGarry book coming out. So I'm in a weird position where I've got 2 books coming out that I've already written. So I feel like I'm kind of ahead of myself for the first time ever.
Yeah, just put your feet up for a while.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm contractually obliged. And I'm also delighted, may I add, to write the third book of the Stranger Times now, because traditional publishing works a long time in advance. So you kind of have to have things done. Like the first draft basically has to be done a year before it's probably going to come out, which is it's a bit weird because you put all that effort in and then you sort of forget about it, and then you read it again and go, "Oh yeah, I wrote this."
Oh Christ,
like,
yeah, I wrote a book. Bloody hell!
Yeah, this
totally
thing. It's
forgot.
like, genuinely have to go back and I have both of them in front of me for writing the third one because I've got to constantly go back and check what happened in the other two.
Yeah, make sure you don't use the same words that you've already used.
Well, yeah, it's also as well, I have a habit of just throwing in bits of backstory literally to get between two sentences, and then I have to go, oh yeah, like what exactly did I say? Like literally the whole basis of the third book was hung on exactly what I said in the first chapter of the second book, not thinking I was setting anything up. It's basically someone's getting divorced, and I had to go back and check at exactly what point they were in the procedure, whether she was actually divorced or not yet. And if she was, the whole idea for the book was screwed. So yeah, but that's the habit I have of just sort of having to constantly kind of work back against what I've already done and see if it'll still work for the idea I've got coming up.
You work with a lot of dictation, don't you? You like speak the book rather than type it.
Yeah, I kind of, well, I sort of do a mix of it now, weirdly, where I will kind of sort of chuck stuff down with dictation, then I'll rewrite it generally with the typing, but then sometimes I'll just type out something as well. It's weird, just whatever I feel like, really, because where I'm sitting, I've got like a Mac in front of me and then a laptop PC, because dictation works better on a PC than a Mac, unfortunately. So I literally sort of have the two of them, and then what I do is copy it into one, and because of all the boring stuff with software, I just want to use the version I'm used to. Because I'm a real creature of habit. I've discovered that once I got used to working in this environment, I basically have to have those two machines, and it's really like I have to be in my office, like, and
have to be in a shed, yeah.
But yeah, which is real, because like next door did some work for a month, and I was screwed because I went up. I had like a spare bedroom upstairs. I went up there, and I got nothing done. It was terrible, and I was like, "Am I this much a creature of habit?"
Does that mean
Apparently
you've got to keep the beard forever now as well? Once you've written with a beard, can't go.
Once you've got this stroke, you never go back, mate. It's the closest thing I have to a muse.
Yeah, it makes you a lot more thoughtful, doesn't it?
Talking of stroking things.
Whoa.
Where's this going?
Okay. Whoa.
Do you want to run this by us first, Dave, or are you just going to go?
This is perfectly fine. The most important thing, really, of this whole interview: how are the dogs?
Well, you've made this slightly weird. They're good. They're good. Thank you. They're generally, they're pretty good. They're getting used to each other now. So they are pretty crucial to the process, because basically how much writing I get done every day is determined by the dogs. Essentially, I take care of dogs full time and write part time. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah. What will they be getting for Christmas?
I'll be honest. We have that problem that we are the worst kind of parents. That it's very hard to get the dog something for Christmas, because we've got the dog anything we could think of the dog would like. Because I literally have like. As my mother would say to me, you spend an awful lot of money on the dog, don't you? And you go, yeah, but what else am I going to spend it on? Do you know what I mean? Like, I already, I've got all Netflix and stuff. That's all and I'd look stupid in a sports car. I'd look fucking ridiculous in a sports car. I've been in one once. They're very uncomfortable. They're very low to the ground. I don't recommend them. They're terrible for your posture. And I've got a dodgy knee. So what the dogs are getting for Christmas, actually what they're getting for Christmas is the 12 days of Christmas, pretty much. We've booked the field they love going to, where it's all fenced off and they can run around free and play fetch. So what they're getting for Christmas is an awful lot of that, which they love.
That sounds good.
Wow, that's the main thing, isn't it?
By the way, this is linked to nothing Christmassy, but there's a weird thing, because when I was doing the promotion for Stranger Times, I got asked a lot about, have you had any paranormal experiences? And I stupidly hadn't made one up beforehand, so I was like, no. And I got asked that in so many interviews. I was like, I should have come up with something for this. Weirdly, I had a paranormal experience in that field that I mentioned.
No.
This is really weird, right? It's the middle of the day. I don't know if you have dogs, but there's a lot of these fields around the country now where you've got a code to get in, you're fenced in, your dogs can run around and be safe, not being near anything else. So they're off the lead, so they're running around. So yeah, it's like a business where you book it for the hour. It's very, very good, clever business. A lot of farmers make a lot of money all of a sudden. But yeah, so I was in this field, right? The two dogs are sitting in front of me. I'm talking to the dogs because they're the only people I talk to outside of my wife. So I'm talking to the dogs. I'm possibly discussing what game we're going to play next or whatever. Somebody behind my left ear, like, laughed in my ear. It was like a, or it was more. And like, I put it this way, right? It's the middle of the day. it felt that close to my head. I actually ducked down and spun around thinking somebody was standing right behind me. This is the weird thing. There's nobody behind me. There's nobody anywhere near me. And I was looking like, is there a hard surface sound could have bounced off? And there really isn't, because it's just some trees and a few sheep in the distance. And it was so weird because there was nothing there. But I was like, but who has a paranormal experience in the middle of a day, in the middle of a dog field, in bright sunshine? But I had that thing, and I was like sort of standing there just like, and it just felt like somebody was taking the mickey out of me. But there was nobody there, so I didn't feel threatened or anything. But it was a really weird experience.
But we can look forward to a headline in the Stranger Times of the dog field laugher.
Yeah, I mean, inevitably some of those, because I always do those things laugh. Inevitably there will be dog stories. I think there's been a dog story in every one, because, you know, that's pretty much all I think about.
It's an odd thing to do, though, isn't it? To all that effort to come back in the afterlife. You know, you've got heaven you could go to, and you just come down, laugh once in Caimh's ear, and then piss off again and never return.
Yeah, I mean, as a man who sort of doesn't really believe in ghosts, I was like, oh. But yeah, it was one of those weird things where I kept thinking back at it every couple of weeks. I think it took like 2 weeks for me to tell my wife about it. Went, just, yeah, it's this thing that happened. And it was because the more I thought about it, the more I went, no, that was weird. Whatever that was, if it was like a natural phenomenon or something, it was really odd. But yeah.
Maybe you are turning into Santa Claus. Maybe it did sound a little bit like ho, ho, ho.
Yeah. And to be honest, I am considering embracing it. I'm considering generally getting myself the little hat and just sort of stand around the Arndale Centre watching kids go by screaming with a notepad and just shake my head like, no.
Yeah.
I could really, if I wanted to be a so-and-so about it, I could get so many people so angry just walking around going, no.
Angry Santa.
Off the list, you know why?
Oh, that'd be brilliant. Just going up to kids and going, what you did yesterday, that is going to cost you. And just walk off.
I'm not even checking it twice. We both know what list you're on.
So what about the new year then, Caimh? What's any big New Year's Eve plans?
Oh, I would imagine it'll be sitting at home with 2 dogs while people let off fireworks. God bless people that let off fireworks. They're so considerate. Yeah, no, nothing exciting. I mean, I'm going to Ireland for a bit, and I do live a very exotic and glamorous lifestyle, but
obviously, yeah.
Due to my personal safety issues, I will have to not reveal the details. It's not like I'm just sitting at home with dogs. But yeah, we're having a sort of nice kind of family Christmas up here with our a friend of ours who's come back from Mexico just in time to not be trapped over there. So yeah, nothing terribly exciting. Good. Then lots of books coming out next year. I may mention that. And just keep on keeping on. At some point, it'd be nice to get out of the house, but I don't know if you've seen the news. That's looking like it might be tricky again. So
and Caimh, the big question we need to ask before we do let you go. You've Christmas dinner. You've sat down. You've had Christmas dinner. You've enjoyed your pigs in blankets. You've had some Brussels sprouts. You've had turkey, and now it's time for pudding. It's time for dessert. Time for afters, whatever you want to call it. What is your weapon of choice when it comes to Christmas Day pudding?
It was tricky that because fruitcakes are an abomination onto Logan.
You're one of those people.
Can't stand them. Basically, we had a fruitcake at our or fruit pudding, or one of those puddings, Christmas puddings rather. And
it's a bit rich, you talking about fruitcakes, isn't it? When you're stood in a field with someone laughing in your ear.
Yeah, fair enough, true enough. But yeah, the Christmas pudding in our house when we were growing up as kids, basically we'd smother the thing in whiskey. My sister would spend 10 minutes trying to get the thing to light. And we'd all go, hey! And then we'd throw it out because nobody wants to eat that bloody monstrosity. It was literally the world's worst sort of fireworks display. So I think I'm going to go sticky toffee pudding. I think that's going to be my...
it can never really be the wrong answer, actually, sticky toffee pudding.
Say, you're not going to have Christmas pudding.
Almost any question.
Yeah, it's kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card, that.
What's your accompaniment, Caimh? Would that be custard, cream, ice cream?
Brandy butter?
Bit of brandy butter, but I think probably some ice cream as well.
Ice cream is the correct answer.
Yeah, although maybe, I don't know, I get gout these days, so I'm probably going to have to be careful on the old ice cream. It's a bit of a trigger. Yeah. That's the joys of getting old, that is.
Oh, well, thanks for answering the most important question of the day.
I'm delighted to.
Thanks for joining us for this little
As always, fellas, it's been a delight.
Catch up, mate.
Take care.
All right, happy New Year to you,
Caimh.
Boys. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Do you know what I should have done with talking to Caimh there about his spooky goings-on? Should have used that in my horror thing for my 250-word challenge, shouldn't I?
Yes.
That could have turned into a nice little horror story, that.
Oh, it was all there,
a
wasn't it?
little tap on the shoulder. Dogs in the field. Anyway, maybe when I get through to the next round.
Maybe for the final. Yeah, save it for the final.
Who's next?
Well, it's somebody who's given us lots of tips in our writing already over this series. Another regular guest. It's Mr. OMJ Ryan.
OMJ Ryan. Lovely to have you back on the podcast.
Lovely to be back.
Is this like your third appearance now, isn't it?
I think it is my third. Yeah, am I like the alumni? Am I going to get like a special?
Yeah. We'll put you on a salary if you want.
I think
Yes,
we have
please.
to name you in the credits of every episode now, don't we? As
Executive director or something like some kind of.
That's the one. Yeah.
Nice.
So you were just saying before we started recording that you are working on a book again. Does that mean you're actually writing it?
Yes.
You're actually tapping the keys, or does that mean you're plotting it? Or
It's writing. The plotting was done. I think I started this one in early November. It's taken a little bit longer because I've had some project work to do with my other business, which has kind of meant I've halved my writing time. But it's flowing very well, and it's called Deadly Night. Although for some reason I keep calling it Dark Knight when I speak to people about it. Obviously, because of the Batman
I think
movie,
somebody's done that. Or I'm not sure, but I think somebody's done that.
Damn it. But this one's about gang warfare in Manchester. And it's based on real life because the gang violence has returned, sadly. After the Moss Side years, it sort of went quiet and it's returned again. And I was watching documentaries on it and I thought, this would be great for a book. So, it's a number of gangs, a number of returning characters. Early readers of the series will recognise Adez Bamani, who is a scrap merchant, a humble scrap merchant, as he calls himself, but essentially he's a gangster. So he's in it, along with a couple of others.
Yes. I remember the scrap dealer gang, man. I remember that, yes.
Yeah, that was from the ill-fated book with the coats, David.
And what's he wearing in this book? Has he got a coat on? Or?
Well, it's the summer, and he's a big lad.
Yeah.
He's muscular, and he just likes to wear tight T-shirts that show off his pecs.
Yes.
do you base all your books in the summer now, Owen, just to avoid the whole coat issue?
Yeah, after that, I just couldn't be bothered trying to figure out what to do with the coats. But the last two, funny enough, have been summer. The one before that was Obsession, was wintertime. I'm not sure where the next one will take me. But the prologue in this one does actually start on November the 5th. A murder takes place on Bonfire Night, 1993. And nobody knows the man's being shot because the fireworks are going off.
Nice.
Which is also based on a true story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember that from Crime Watch when I used to watch it as a kid. Scared the living shit out of me, that did. So I always kept it there and I thought I'll use that, and it's the starter for my next
One
book.
day. Blimey. Nice. So do you remember where you were on Bonfire Night 1993, Owen? Just so we can eliminate you from the inquiries.
I think I was in Newcastle at university, probably in a pub somewhere.
Seems a reasonable guess.
Yeah.
Was it what day of the week? Was it a day of the week? It was.
I'd say so.
Yes. Probably in a pub.
It was actually, it's written in the story, I think it's actually Friday night.
Well, nailed on then, isn't it?
Nailed on then,
Yeah,
definitely.
100%.
So apart from that, Owen, what's your sort of Christmas, what's your traditional sort of Christmas routine?
Normally, I cook and spend most of the day in the kitchen getting gently pickled until the food arrives, probably overcooked and a bit sort of lukewarm. But this year, we're going out. We decided after a busy year, we're going to treat ourselves to tea out, or lunch out, should I say.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's a little bit different this year, but it normally involves alcohol and sleeping at some point.
Yeah, two staples of
A
Christmas.
little afternoon snooze.
What are your memories of Christmas as a kid, Owen? What was
Not
Christmas
brilliant.
like? Are they not?
No, not brilliant. My parents were, well, my dad's not here anymore, but my mum still is, and both Irish, Catholic, and from very challenging background, shall we say. So Christmas was never really celebrated when they were kids, so it wasn't really celebrated when we were kids either. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was. I remember it being very exciting because there was presents like all houses, or most houses do, and then we didn't have our Christmas dinner until 5 o'clock. So I just remember the house getting really warm because we always had the fire on, sort of running out of steam with the toys and thinking, oh God, it's another year yet. And then we'd have our dinner and sort of sit again in the hot lounge. Just not a lot of fun. I don't know why. It's just not exciting. So my Christmases are very different now. My wife is really big into Christmas, so we have a lot of fun.
Good that you're making up for it.
Are you game players? Do you play a lot of games?
Not on Christmas Day, more because we've got young kids now. We don't go out, so more New Year's Eve is game day. game night, whereas Christmas night tends to be various degrees of sleepiness from different members of the family, because my mother-in-law will come round and the show will have my brother-in-law, and they all sort of nod off at different times.
Right, so it's mostly eating and sleeping on Christmas itself.
100%. Yeah, we start with the Bucks Fizz about, well, as soon as we get up, really. And it's.
Have you got like a tease made, but just does Bucks Fizz, so you can literally get on it as soon as the alarm goes off?
Yeah, totally. And I prep the food the night before so I can, spend as little time actually doing anything, but I can still hide in the kitchen.
Yeah. And Owen, what's your recommended Santa leave out? What you're a traditionalist with a mince pie, or are we glass of milk, glass of whiskey?
Vaughan was too young last year to really leave anything out, so we haven't done it yet. So I think this is going to be the first year. And I would imagine it'll probably be an ice cold can of beer, maybe a glass of vodka and Diet Coke for Rudolph, and we'll obviously send him to bed. And then when he comes downstairs, they'll have disappeared. Maybe with some snacks, some popcorn perhaps, or some salted nuts. As long as they're not peanuts, because he's allergic to peanuts. We don't want that. So I've never liked mince pies. My mum makes a mean mince pie.
It's not about what you like, though, Owen, is it? It's about what Father Christmas likes. Bloody hell!
That's what confused me. What do you mean? Vaughan was too young last year. Santa still needs to eat.
Yeah, true that. We probably did let him down last year. Yeah, we need to rethink that one this year.
Well, I hope he turns up.
It's about being good. I don't think he'll turn up at my house.
Yeah, maybe not. So what does the new year hold in terms of writing then? Because obviously you'll finish this one and go through it. Will you be starting another book in 3 months' time?
Yes,
or whatever?
I hope to have this one finished and with the editor by the end of January. So probably looking at a March launch. And then I'm going to take February off, just have a month off. I haven't had any time off for ages, and just do stuff to the house and try and get a little bit fitter and healthier and get some of the weight off for Christmas. And then I'll start writing again, I would imagine, probably April time, with another one out maybe in August.
So after your February off, that one's going to be called Deadly DIY or maybe Deadly Exercise.
Yeah, deadly movement would be good. Just rather than
deadly general activity,
deadly groin strain.
It's gonna have to be deadly physio, because I really need to see the physio. My shoulders are absolutely knotty from writing. I had a massage a couple of weeks ago just to try and release them, and the poor woman, she was like, "These are a bit knotty." I was like, and it's just from writing. It's just from sat at the computer so much. So I need to sort my posture out and get sorted for the new year.
Yeah, you need one of them standing desks.
Yeah, I've seen them, and I'm going to sound like a real hypochondriac. I've got a really bad back. Just from it structurally, it's not built like it should be. So
was it around the front?
It might as well be.
He's not got a back, he's got a front.
It looks like a front.
I used to get teased awfully at school.
Well, you should. Yeah, I was going to say something else then, but it's not in the best. It's not in the best shape. So
look, Owen's coming. Owen's walking towards. Oh, I mean, no, he's not. No, he's not. He's walking away. It's difficult to tell.
I'll just try and get my body back into some kind of order, so I don't feel like a 60-year-old.
Well, that sounds like a wonderful plan for the new year.
Good plan.
So yeah, thanks for coming on and sharing it with us.
Well, thanks for having me in.
All right, mate. Take care.
Happy New Year.
And you.
Cheers, man.
Bye.
Well, there we go. Always nice to talk to Owen, isn't it?
Always
Always
welcome on the show. And now on to someone who would be welcome on the show, but probably won't ever come back ever again because of the way that John keeps following him around. We did manage to get Andy Stanton back for just a wee chat before he got the restraining order in.
This is Andy Stanton.
Hey.
Thanks for popping in, Andy.
Back.
Well,
Lovely to see you.
any time I've popped in literally to my own bedroom.
And Andy, can we introduce you to Dave, who couldn't be bothered to speak to you last time?
Of course.
Well, I mean...
Yes, hello, Andy.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
What a pleasure, you apathetic swine.
I know. I just can't be asked for most things. But I'm here now, and that's not really the main thing. But so what's been going on, Andy, since last we didn't speak?
Oh, right. Well, why would you care? I
don't really, but I've got to ask.
All right, well... Some attempt at civility
was... The first question has got to be, how's the chair? How's the chair holding up?
Oh, the chair...
the
chair's terrific. I mean, it's still... well, I was talking about this last time at some length, and, Yeah, the chair, a little more upholstery flakes off by the day. But isn't that, a metaphor for everything, really?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, so you and the chair have come to some kind of understanding about that, and you're both comfortable with the situation.
Okay, well, imagine that the chair is the United Kingdom, right? And I am the... No, I've got... It's fine, it's just a chair. It's...
Wow, right, okay. That's where... okay.
This is what you wanted. This is what's going on your Christmas episode. My updates on my chair.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
well, sorry, have you got something else you want to share with us, Andy?
No, I'm just curious as to what the hell you're troubling me about.
So, Andy, for our pleasure, sketch us a quick picture of a Stanton Christmas morning. What does it usually entail? Yeah. Let's bring us back to Christmas. Come on.
Oh, fine. I love Christmas because I'm Jewish. And so this is literally like the Jewish people's day off, while everyone else who isn't Jewish gets to experience for one day what it's like to be Jewish, where everything's a stress, where everything is an absolute tiresome irritation, and you fight with your family, you feel hot and flustered, everything's on the brink of disaster. Enjoy your day of feeling Jewish, guys. This is what it's like for us the rest of the time. It's lovely. It's Reverso Day for me. I have a very low stakes Christmas. I buy almost nothing for no one know how because I just don't care. I expect and receive very little in return. I think I usually go around to my cousins. They do a sort of Jewish Christmas, and some people buy presents for each other and some don't, and I'm firmly in the can't be asked. There'll be some panettone for my cousins who are hosting. That'll be my sort of gift.
Good gift.
Well, you can ask for more. Yeah.
Well, it's a good gift because I like it, and I just see it. I don't know if they despise it. They might do, but it seems it's the sort of thing I'd like to receive, so I give that. But that's about all. Like one year, I bought another cousin of ours. Just talking to her and her son a few months prior, in conversation, I found out that they'd never seen Jaws, which scandalised me. So that year I went the extra mile and I bought them for £5 a DVD of Jaws, an actual great white shark. No, a DVD of Jaws, right? And
an old VHS copy.
Yeah, right. But that's the kind of stuff because like everyone's just written me off as anyone who's going to really get anyone any presents. I think that year I got a small jar of mixed nuts from Marks and Spencer's, literally some socks from my parents who were there, and something like a 3-year out of date QI annual, and that was my haul. And I was, and to me, I was like,
mixed nuts, difficult to get hold of at the moment. So that would be a treasured possession.
Well, it would be. They've gone. I mean, this was a long time ago. But
the memory of nuts
lingers
the
on.
Memory of nuts. It's the memory of nuts, the mystery of roll. This is the kind of haul I enjoy. To me, this is like Smaug sitting on his. Say it like that, Smaug. Smaug sitting on his treasure.
Yeah, the desolation of Stanton.
Yeah, the desiccation of nuts. No, that's it really. So a very low rent, low stakes. Don't really give much of a toss, except I enjoy the day so much. See, again, when I was a kid, we had a very Jewish attitude to Christmas, which is we do a bit of it because you sort of do, right? But you don't, for instance, we would always have, when I was a kid, a Christmas dinner, which is what we call Christmas lunch, isn't it? Which always confuses me. Christmas lunch doesn't sound right. You would have a Christmas dinner with crackers. We'd have coins hidden in the Christmas pudding, and actually light it on fire and all that. But by the same token, right, we must never have a tree in the house. That's just an arbitrary decision from my mum, really. Just like, we don't do a Christmas tree because we're Jewish, but mum, we seem to be eating a Christmas dinner with crackers and a flambe pudding with money hidden on it, which does not seem normal, So we just take the bits we fancy, really. And we would used to fetishize Christmas trees like you wouldn't believe. Like if we were in a long car journey around that time of year, me and my sister would make a game out of, how many Christmas trees can we spot in houses, right? And probably lots of kids do that, but for us it was also like, not just, how many Christmas trees, as these are things we can never have. We wanted a Christmas tree more than anything.
But you don't fill your house with trees over Christmas.
The trees are a big part. They're on the cards. If you ask any kid to make a Christmas card, to draw a Christmas card, 7 out of 10 of them are going to be a tree, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Same
true.
with the Christmas adverts and
Same with
everything.
and we couldn't have one. We wanted it like I can't tell you. Oh, and we'd get small presents as a kids, right? We'd get like sensible presents, sensible Jewish Christmas presents. So
things you need.
Well, you'd get. I think more just like sensible in like, again, you know, a lot of people sort of start maxing out on the credit cards, don't they? Well, we never. That was, and we wouldn't. We'd get like what. We'd get one good present and then a bunch of small crap, which is fine. So the small crap would usually consist of things like those little rubbish chocolate Santas where the chocolate's so cheap it just tastes of carpets and dust, you know, and you kind of enjoy it because it's Christmas chocolate. And but like, for instance, one year my big present was wouldn't it be rubbish if I just said like a camper van now, and that's how poor we were, and you're just like this is why we shouldn't interview people from the south because they've got different privileges. No, my big present one year was Crossfire. Do you remember Crossfire?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the game that puts blisters on young children's fingers.
I remember trying to make my own of that using a series of elastic bands and sharp implements, and it didn't really work.
I am feeling the north-south divide now, lads. I am.
I'm from the south.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, spiritually, I don't know. I mean, we got one from a factory made by the people who make Crossfire. It was brilliant. It worked.
I think we went to the different shop.
Yeah, I think you did. No, but so I'd get one good thing and a bunch of nothings, and it's all very sane and non-hassly. I like it.
We're going to have to go because we're running out of time. But one of our previous guests, Andy, favourite Christmas cracker joke was...
Oh, yeah.
What's the difference between a snowman and a snow woman?
Snowballs.
Absolutely.
There we
Just
go.
testing.
Yeah. Just testing my chops.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, just thought it wasn't just a fluke when we interviewed you last time. That's good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've been around a while. Thank you, guys. What a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Andy. Thanks for
Thanks
your time.
very
Really
much.
appreciate
We
it.
wish you a very happy new year.
Yay, and to you.
Take care. Thanks, Andy.
All the best. Bye.
How was that for you,
That was
John?
nice, wasn't it? It was nice.
I mean, you're pretty much best buddies now, aren't you?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just,
Yeah.
It's nice to. Yeah.
Will you be popping round here at Christmas? And if you do, will he
I've
know about
I've
it?
sent him a couple of invitations, 3 or 5 invitations to come to ours. Nothing as yet.
I've just got an image of John turning up on Andy Stanton's doorstep. You know, like in Love Actually, where they've got the sheets with the words on. Doing a full one of
You
them.
do know it's you guys making this weird.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, lovely to talk to Andy there. Thank you, Andy, for coming back.
Yes.
Despite everything.
Yeah, no, he really was quite charming.
He is. He's a
Speaking
pleasure.
of charming, our next guest is Beth Chalmers, which contains the same part of a word as charming in her surname. So
God, you're getting good at these segues.
stick that up your segue pipe, Davey.
That counts, doesn't it? That counts as a segue.
Yeah, so let's...
but it was lovely to have Beth
Yeah.
talking to us from her mum's cupboard.
She was.
in a cupboard. Maybe some kind of Christmas tradition at her parents' house. She's in the cupboard, Beth. Oh yeah, let's have a chat with Beth.
There she is. Hi, Beth.
I'm at my mum's, so I'm in a cupboard.
So you go to your mum's and she makes you go into a cupboard?
It's very Harry
bit of
Potter
an-
here.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
I'm loving it, by the way. I'm loving the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Beth.
I'm loving it. There's
Oh,
so much. It's really, I love it. I look forward to my long drives, and I think, oh, good.
So, how are you, Beth?
I'm marvellous. Thanks very much.
It's been a long
okay.
time since we talked to you, isn't it? You were right at the start of our podcasting journey.
Yeah.
Yes, months
Early
ago.
failing writers. Oh, I love early failing writers.
So at the time, I think Mystic Series 2 was just starting, I think. Oh God, it's a long time ago now. So what else has been going on since
Mystic's
then?
out now. It's out now in series 2 on iPlayer, and yeah, I'm jolly proud of that. And you kind of think that by series 3, you've ironed out all the kinks, and it's just going to be smooth, and it's going to be fine, and everything, all the little problems that you've identified, you'll think, we won't do that next time, or we won't make that mistake next time, and you don't. But there's just different shit.
Of course.
There's just no reason to learn anything, because you can learn something, but just different shit that turns up. So it's always just as annoying as ever. Though this time my series really abandoned, and had to fly our actors home because they stayed in lockdown for 11 weeks out in New Zealand, and we thought, well, we can't just leave our actors out there just sort of wandering about a house. So we brought them home. And then the next few weeks was spent trying to find quarantine spaces to get them back out there to start filming in January. And that's not easy.
Bloody hell.
I know their government aren't as corruptible as ours, so you can't just there's no backhanders allowed.
That's
I'd have been out there.
Oh, right, yeah. That doesn't sound like writing, does it, really?
No, it's just the bureaucratic shit that goes with it. No, but we have been doing some writing as well. Been doing some adult stuff. There's a lot of stuff which sounds really wanky to say that I can't talk about. But we've got some cool real life stuff.
That's good. We don't want to know about the details, so that's fine. We're fine. We're not bothered.
Skim the surface.
Is there anything you can tell us about?
John's. I'm trying to play it cool. John, please tell us.
Tell us something.
That might be a sort of 3-parter true crime sort of area. Yeah, adults.
Okay.
Kind of cool.
Oh, adults like that. Sorry, I thought you meant
I see why you're interested.
Yeah, no,
right?
we're going into that genre now. Why not?
Yeah.
Are you keeping with the horses as well in that, or are you gonna? Too far? Gone too far. Too far.
Yeah. I think never say never. We like to think outside the
horse box.
Yeah, that's all right.
So, moving swiftly on, Beth, what's your Christmas like? Any sort of big Christmas traditions?
I'm quite miserable about Christmas. I don't know. I used to be
miserable Christmas.
Yeah, and I'd love to frolic and sparkle and look at Christmas lights without just going, oh God, I've got all my presents. I've got to be happy. I am happy. I'm very happy, but just I don't want to have to be. And so I'm spending it with my boyfriend and his kids, hoping his kids are going to ignite the spark of magic.
Yeah.
And I'm going to suddenly realize, because people say it's not for grown-ups really. Because my boyfriend said, no wonder you hate it. So, but when the kids are around, you sort of like it more. Is that right?
Is that right?
Is that right?
Is that right?
So. Yeah, I think.
Let's go. Let's
say
that.
Yeah. Let's just say yes.
I have massive present anxiety. So I have present anxiety when I give presents and when I receive presents.
Wow.
A huge anxiety.
So do you massively overreact positively to anything anyone gives you then? Oh my God, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it looks really disingenuous, even if I love it. I'm geared up beforehand.
To fake it really badly, yeah.
When my writing partner got married, she asked me to come and see her wedding dress. And she was about to come out the curtain. And I said, no, wait, don't come out because I'm going to laugh. And the other thing is, I'm not going to laugh. You're going to think I'm laughing at you, but I'm so nervous about you coming out and me having to go, oh, it's the most beautiful thing. But I'm now having hysterics out here. I've got really nervous. And she just said, tell me if it fits or it's dirty. Shut up. But is that all but the expectation? It's just, but so when all that's over, I think that's what I think. Yes, I think I've now diagnosed it actually as I'm talking to you. I think Christmas worries me because of present anxiety.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're here for, Beth, really, is just to talk
I see us as therapy.
Some of the issues.
And I want to know out there, if anyone else out there has the same thing.
Listeners, if you'd like to send us some emails, we can pass on.
Or send a gift to us.
Even better.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and helping us wrap up the year in style. And thanks for being a listener, Beth.
Avid listener.
It's lovely.
I'm an avid listener, and so thanks for doing it. It's lovely. It's a great listen. I really do enjoy it, and you've got some cool people on there. Yeah, I like the bits where you guys. Yeah, me. Yeah, I like it when you guys write your stuff and
make fools of ourselves
and basically critique each other.
Yeah, that must be quite enjoyable. Yeah.
More of that to come.
Good. I think I want. I think you've done lots of different genres. The whole kind of maybe dip into some telly, some scripty stuff.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Wow, that might be something that we're not allowed to talk about, Beth. So,
okay. Well, I will look forward to that hugely. So,
thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. But well, I hope you all have a lovely Christmas.
You too, Beth.
And I'm sure I will. And jingle bells and deck the halls and all that shit.
Jingle bells, bloody blah.
Just stopping short of a bar humbug, but that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, Beth.
Happy New Year.
Right, we're nearly there, lads. Nearly there. That was Beth. One more to go.
Yeah, all good things must come to an end.
Hey, God, this is actually, we're one step away from the end of the entire series.
How do we feel about that, chaps?
Yeah.
Are we looking forward to a little break? Are we you gonna miss me?
Well, a little break would be nice.
We're on a break.
We've got lots of stuff in the background to be doing, haven't we? We have got
That
a lot
is
of work
true.
to be doing to prepare for
We will be
season 2.
squirreling. We
Not
won't just be
gonna
lying around.
Yeah,
I've got a 3 or 4 stone to get to shift after all
to
that
put
Christmas
on and then
food,
get
so-
off again. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we won't be sitting around doing nothing. Oh no.
But anyway, we're not finished yet. We still need to talk to
Yes.
Simon. So
Good
let's
point.
speak to Simon Griffin, author of lots of books with swearing in the titles. Let's have a chat with him and see what's what.
Well, here we are. Welcome, Simon Griffin. Thanks for
My
popping
pleasure,
in.
gents. Thank you.
Hello,
Me again.
Simon.
Hey.
Evening.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you,
Simon,
too,
what have
gentlemen.
you been up to since last we spoke?
Since then, well, mainly teaching. That's just been full time. So I am the guy who owns Icon, the publishers, has been on to me a few times and is trying to steer me towards
Not going on our podcast ever again. Is that what he was saying?
So yeah, there's talk of a third book, but I mean, with the teaching,
I love how detached
genuinely-
in third person you make that sound, as if it's not something that involves you. There's talk of a third book, not that asking me to write a third book or I need to write a third book. Just there's general chit chat in the ether about a third book appearing.
Yeah, that I will have nothing to do. Well, I'm just trying to downplay it a little bit. It's not. It's really. It is very flashing to be asked. But I mean, I don't want to write a book for the sake of writing a book. I want there to be some purpose for it. And I think you need to feel excited. You know yourselves, like how time consuming and energy sapping it is.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that initial that feeling at the start of it, then there's going to be a lot of pain to get through the however many words that we agree on.
Yeah. Have you had an idea for the third one? You were talking about cricket before.
Well, I mean, that was just something that I enjoy and I feel like I could write about. There's the thing about whether you continue to use the swear words or whether you go, okay, that horse has been flogged once and then twice and now it is definitely dead. or whether but the thought of like a little trilogy of fucking books might be quite nice.
Yeah. Finish the fucking off nicely.
Well, they normally do quite well down under in Australia and New Zealand. They seem to sell quite well, and there's always been a bit of interest from the partners down there. So with it, I don't know. Cricket is just something that I quite enjoy, and so that was a thought, but I don't know quite where it goes from there.
Yeah,
it's an interesting position, isn't it, for all of our listeners out there at the moment, thinking, "Hang on a minute, here's somebody we're plugging away, and here's somebody who's being asked to write a book that will get sold." And he's going, well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. And we're plugging away, just trying to get any interest at all. It's not a bad position to be in, I suppose, is it?
It's why I was trying to downplay it from the start to try and not sound too smug or anything. No, I'm incredibly grateful that they're interested and that they want to do it. And yeah, I just I want it to be good. I suppose I've got through a tricky-ish second album with a reasonable amount of, it seemed to go quite well.
Yeah.
And so now I've got the freedom of the third.
Yeah, you teachers, you get really long holidays, don't you? So you just toss it off in a holiday.
We do, and half terms and weekends and stuff.
Yeah.
When normal.
You finish at 3:30 and stuff, don't you? So that's easy. Why you? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Got the rest of the day to kill.
Easy.
Christmas-wise, though, hey, Si, what was your
about to say
ideal Christmas? What's your ideal Christmas day?
And I mean this in a I wish I could drink on Christmas Day, but without getting drunk. It feels wrong getting up and having
it feels wrong getting up and not being drunk.
And not joining in the festivities. But then I always hate drinking on Christmas Day because you always forget everything that happened, and then it gets to about 5 o'clock, and you've probably had a nap already, and your mouth just feels like a grape, or it feels just that you can't drink anymore because it's pointless. But you just. I don't know. So if I had a Christmas wish, it would just be, peace and happiness, and also to be able to drink on Christmas Day without actually feeling drunk or feeling the effects of alcohol.
Peace, happiness, goodwill to all men, and a higher alcohol tolerance.
Yes. I think Christmas, it's just going to be family time with the in-laws. We're going down to Slawston, and we'll see them all down there. It's going to be quite cramped, so we're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 families in a 3-bedroomed house. So it's going to be cosy.
Whoa!
I know, I'm feeling like the next book might be called "Fucking Relative." Oh, no, that's probably not a good title, actually.
Yeah. Based on factual events. Fucking relative.
Yeah.
What about New Year? Have you got fun New Year plans?
We were talking about this last night. We never plan for New Year. All our focus is always on Christmas, and we always go, "Oh Christ, we've got New Year to do as well," and so we will end up doing very little, I think.
In bed before midnight?
That again, I had a plan.
Play your cards right, John.
I had a plan that we should sack off New Year and just get up really, really early. And it would be, this is my dad lectures here, about like a nice inspiring, front foot forward for the new year. Like we're going to achieve stuff.
Come on,
we're not
kids.
going to lie in until midday. We'll be up at 6 and see in the new year in a proper way.
Wow, it's like I can feel you turning into a Fast Show character in front of our eyes. That's like,
yeah. Good luck with that with teenage kids.
Yeah, so that hasn't been that well received.
What do you want for Christmas, Si? What's on your wish list?
I go for incredibly practical gifts.
Go on.
I go for need, not want. So towels. We need some new towels because ours have got like stringy edges now. There is like something. Anyway, we need new towels. What else? Pillows. I need some new pillows. We've got some.
Bloody hell! I'm sorry I asked now. Has anyone got another question?
So a few years ago, we bought some pillows, and I think I bought them based on the fact that it said used by NASA scientists or something like that. I didn't read exactly what it said, but it said something about NASA and pillows, and I thought, well, they must be good. And then it turns out they're not. So I've had those for about 10 or 12 years, I think. And
are you using them in 0G or in 1G? That would be designed for 0G.
I mean,
yeah.
You could say that about most things, couldn't you? Because like NASA scientists, they're just people, really, aren't they? Trousers
as used by NASA scientists.
Somewhere there will be a NASA scientist who wears a watch or uses toothpaste.
Exactly. Yeah.
It would be nice to get endorsements from kind of completely irrelevant industries, wouldn't it?
Yes, definitely. So it's a long pause there, long awkward pause. That sometimes happens, isn't it?
And yes,
well, I think we're all just thinking about it, aren't we?
Well, Simon, I'm not going to keep you any longer because I know that you've been very busy today, and I know you'd quite like to get home.
I'm going to go and see the family.
Yeah, and he's got to go and pick out his socks as worn by greengrocers.
Socks is on the list as well.
And also, we literally don't want to hear any more of your present ideas, so
Please,
I'm going to cut that short.
Yeah.
Thank you, Simon.
Gents, have a lovely Christmas.
Thanks for joining
the
us,
excellent
Si.
work with the podcast. It's very good. I'm glad to see how
thanks, Si. That's
how well it's doing.
Cheers, mate.
And I just hope one day it results in some actual words on paper for you.
We're trying.
That would be nice, wouldn't
Taken
it?
away.
Well, thanks for the thought, anyway, Simon. Yeah.
Until then, let's just write the words Happy New
And a
Year.
happy New
Take
Year.
care.
Thank you.
Cheers, Si.
Bye.
And so, we come to the end.
I mean, I don't know how we end it, really. What do we do? We should have had something bigger, like the end of Blackadder or something, where it's,
Oh, yeah.
The men kind of do all the fun stuff, aren't you? Then leave people crying.
Yeah. Little moving moment.
John, do you think could you write a really touching song that sums up the series?
Yeah, I reckon I
We
could.
just leave
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that.
I reckon that'd be
About
nice.
saying
wouldn't
goodbye
it?
for a
Just to
while.
Finish on a song.
Hang on, before we start the song, how long is it before we're back again? We're going to give people an idea of when we're back because they're going to be pretty sad.
Oh, it
for the
depends
next.
how long this bloody song is, John. Let's be honest.
I think we're thinking sort of March time, aren't we? So around that time. Let's not tie ourselves to an actual date at this
That's a
point.
good idea,
Let's
Tom.
just,
Well done. Awesome.
So that's it. Let's stop it with these stupid long goodbyes, boys. Let's just
Yeah,
Good point.
just end it.
press play on the Ghetto Blaster and let's listen to our swan song.
Cheerio then. It's been a long old year, my friend, and we've had fun. But our erotica and John's finger are best not lingered on.
We've seen the rise of robot writers. We've done live shows and had ideas. We've had catchphrases and big prizes and bloody talking trees.
We've stalked bestsellers until they tell us how they made it and maybe why. We've had a guest who had an OBE and one who's definitely not a spy. It's been great to have you with us. Your kind reviews have made us cry. We'll be back again next year, my friend. But now it's time to say goodbye.
Hello? Hello? Where's everybody gone?